Power. He loves the ability to manipulate and control people. Why? Most likely because he was victimized by his mentor, who loved to control people.
And his mentor was
Andre Harrell.
Tell us how
who was mentored by Clive.
It's also not the little risk you were thinking about. Now let's look into it. Jaguar Wright is one of the well-known celebrities whose silences undoubtedly catch people's attention. It's not because of her exceptional skill. Jaguar Wright's whistleblowing has garnered her a great deal of public acclaim throughout the years. Despite persistent threats and harassment, she is one of the very few individuals who would speak out on a particular topic. There are numerous worries about possible abuse or harm as a result of her recent silence. Senior Homeland Security agents have already conducted raids on Diddy's houses in Miami, New York City, and Los Angeles. Many ideas were proposed as to why Jaguar Wright was mute regarding the raid's motivation. Even though a lot of other claims were made, most people agreed that the raids were a way to look into the accusations that Diddy had been experiencing lately. A power. Cassettes. Jaguar and 50 Cent, two of the most outspoken celebrities, have been silent recently. To what degree did she actually disclose the raid on Diddy's houses, even if there are still unsolved questions? Let's look into it. Renowned leaker Jaguar didn't take it right long to disclose Clive Davis's extreme fear upon discovering Diddy's home searches. She explained that this was the case since Clive Davis had been the most directly linked to Puff Diddy's transgressions. As revealed by Jaguar Wright, Diddy wasn't the true mastermind behind many of Diddy's indiscretions. Rather, he was mostly Clive Davis' go-between and errand boy. Jaguar Wright went on to claim that Clive Davis was even more concerned since he had not been able to use his connections in the industry to stop the raids on his homes, and he was terrified Diddy would eventually find out about their hidden activities and blame him. But there's more to Diddy and Clive Davis, and Jaguar Wright is one individual who can provide some insight into Diddy. Evidence substantiating her claims has aided in her recognition as a legitimate whistleblower. Nonetheless, a lot of people are ignorant of the various dangers that can jeopardize one's life when acting so audaciously and without fear.
Until further notice, I would not be performing at any gigs or anything like that.
In fact, Diddy's producer Rodney Jones,
to save himself and his family, Diddy's producer Rodney Jones had actually announced that he would be declining contracts. The most notable lawsuit against Puff Diddy was filed by Rodney Jones. Hi to every one of you. Until further notice, I will not be performing or doing anything similar for the protection of my family and friends. Subsequently, he said, it seems like a lot of potential threats and everyone is just telling me what he's supposed to be capable of. This makes him appear extremely dangerous, so he worries about both his personal safety and the safety of his kids. I just want to put everything on hold until we decide that it is safe and clear for me to go back outside and work. I am appreciative of everyone who knows me, including your love and support. Thank you very much, my love. Of the 5 cases Diddy had brought since the previous year, Rodney Jones's was the most acrimonious and turbulent. Not too long afterward, Puff Diddy became the subject of some shocking allegations from Rodney Jones. Therefore, it was hardly shocking that federal agents released Diddy's homes. Nor did he stop with Diddy. In the case, he also included Meek Mill, Prince Harry, Usher Raymond, and other well-known individuals. He even released what looked to be a tape that featured a video of Meek Mill having sex with someone he saw on Diddy's communications. Lil Rod Jones filed the action in federal court on Monday, March 25, 2024. Actor Cuba Gooding Jr. and communications were also mentioned as the aggressors. The lawsuit featured deleted photos of minors and a gunshot, along with a red trigger warning for explicit and erotic content. As stated in Jones's lawsuit, he first became acquainted with Combs in August 2022, after being invited to write songs for an impending R&B record that would be named the Love Record Off the Grid by a representative. The complaint was filed on the same day that Combs' houses in Miami and Los Angeles were raided by investigators from Homeland Security Investigations. According to the lawsuit, Mr. Jones gave his permission, and his life has not been the same since. After beginning work with Combs in September 2022, Jones claimed that he lived with Combs for a few months and that he was not allowed to return home for important family events, holidays, or birthdays. While composing men's songs for the album, Jones asserted that he saw hundreds of hours of criminal activity, including drug usage and prostitution. She even asserted that she was forced to record the events on camera. Notably, in January 2023, while on a boat that they had hired in the Virgin Islands, Jones had claimed the 54-year-old actor of harassing and abusing him sexually. In his February complaint, Jones made reference to Gooding. Gooding was not included in the list of defendants until today. Music producer Lil Rod made the initial accusations of sexual assault and harassment against Cuba Gooding Jr. last month. According to the lawsuit, Combs left Jones and the Oscar-winning actor alone in a studio on Combs' boat after introducing them and trying to pass for the 56-year-old actor. According to Mr. Jones, Mr. Combs was getting him ready to play practical pranks on his friends. This nervousness subsided when Mr. Combs asked Mr. Jones to meet Cuba Gooding Jr. on his yacht. According to Mr. Jones at the introduction, Mr. Combs suggested that Cuba find out more about him. Then he left them to their solitude in the makeshift studio aboard the yacht. Cuba Gooding Jr. began petting, massaging, and caressing Mr. Jones's legs, his shoulders, and the small of his back close to his buttocks, Mr. Jones claimed. The complaint contained 2 alleged showings, one of which supposedly showed Gooding and communications speaking aboard the yacht. In photos that Jones provided to the court, Gooding is said to have been seen encircling and caressing his shoulders, upper thighs near the floor, the small of his back, and his legs. Jones claimed that Gooding went on until he was shoved by Mr. Jones. Combs is charged with irresponsibility for not stepping up to stop Gooding from abusing Jones. Given the vicious charges Rodney Jones made, it was logical that he would leave. Since Rodney Jones opted to quit making public appearances, Diddy has probably been threatening Jaguar Wright, forcing her to briefly follow suit. There are credible claims that Jaguar Wright was coerced into keeping quiet about Diddy's case by something she had never seen before. People are noticing Jaguar's silence right now, but usually she manages to make amends and return to the limelight. Following Jaguar Wright's recent accusation of assault and human trafficking, in which he claimed that Clive Davis, his mentor, had taught him these habits, the controversy began when Diddy settled a lawsuit he was involved in with Cassie, his ex-girlfriend, who had accused him of human trafficking and domestic abuse. However, 2 more victims came forward as well, and it seemed that there will probably be many more to follow. In 1991, Joy Dickerson Neal, one of the accusers, filed a civil lawsuit against Diddy. Neal claimed that at a dinner date, Diddy had spiked her drink, causing a horrifying attack that he captured on camera and shared with others. An additional victim who wishes to remain anonymous said that singer Aaron Hall and Diddy mistreated her in the early 1990s. As these disturbing revelations continue to surface, questions have been raised about the likelihood that other victims, both male and female, have not yet come forward. Diddy allegedly had sex with male prostitutes, which would have added to the complexity of an already complex situation. The singer-songwriter shed light on a shadowy side of the music industry by disclosing startling accusations made against Diddy. Wright's revelations severely upended the entertainment industry by exposing the abuse, exploitation, and manipulation that accompanies celebrity allure. Wright has accused Diddy of a lot of uncomfortable things, including misbehavior, abuse, and exploitation. She alleges that Jay-Z and other influential people in the industry, including Diddy, are part of a demonic, lighted network that schemes to harm anyone who has the audacity to speak up. Ryan claimed that Diddy forced women into hazardous situations for his own entertainment as part of his human trafficking business. Among the more unexpected charges made against Diddy was this one. She accused him of controlling up-and-coming musicians and using their potential, portraying him as a man who will stop at nothing to maintain his position of influence and authority. Wright also points out that allegations of Diddy acting predatorily at events and parties served to validate his reputation for verbal and physical abuse outside of his business endeavors. She said he was in the habit of passing over new musicians and used them for his own gain. Wright's accusations against Diddy have drawn parallels to other women in the industry making comparable grievances, including singer Cassie Ventura, who filed a lawsuit against Diddy recently alleging emotional and physical abuse. And for now, that's all. Remember to subscribe to this YouTube channel and like this video. Peace out until we speak again.